Per Jeremiah's request, I went ahead and started the recording on this meeting. So just know that whatever you say and do from here on out will be recorded for prosperity. So, or is that the correct way to use that word? Sometimes I mess up those $3 words. Prosperity. Yeah. Is that right? Or is that not right?
Posterity.
Posterity.
That's what I said. Posterity. Did you guys hear the R?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Jeez, you guys are so picky.
Well, it also is good for prosperity here, right? So to record his.
Jerry, you
What's that
keep
word?
signing my
What's that word
paychecks. You
again?
call it what you want.
Posterity? Posterity?
Yeah.
That doesn't
Yes.
even make sense. That sounds like it should be something to do with posture. How do people learn our language when they don't even put the right definitions together? If we're talking about posterity, I should be standing straight up and down because of this, and that's not what's going to happen. But anyways, be on your best behavior because I will be handing this into the roundtable master after the meeting, and we're going to have it in our recordings as I mentioned. We'll go ahead and get started here. It's 11:01. I'm going to take a different approach to this meeting in that I would prefer that you guys all have your microphones on, your cameras on. Let's boogie out. If you got to interrupt me at any time, please do so. If you find you have background noise that is making it too difficult to keep your audio on, go ahead and mute. If your camera's broken, you don't have to be on video, but if it's not broken, turn that video on and show me your pretty face. I really appreciate it. You guys, it's this roundtable is really kind of going to be really casual. It might even be quicker than our normal roundtables because, to be frank, I'm here to talk about end-of-year best practices. And the secret to end-of-year best practices is that there is no secret. You basically do exactly what you've been doing throughout the rest of the year. You just keep doing it. It's really easy to slow down during this holiday season, right? Like to start thinking about Christmas, thinking about Thanksgiving, thinking about the things that you get to do to take a break. Curari gets a big break at the end of the year. We're all going to be sitting on our hands kind of at the end of the year. Those that have experienced know what I'm talking about. Those that have yet to experience, you will. It's a complete shutdown between Christmas and New Year's Day in this industry. The only thing you could really get done during that time is calling physicians, getting your name clearing emailed out. You might get some responses, but most of the people are not working. It is a good time to call physicians, but it's also a good time to recharge your batteries and just get out, like step aside for a bit. So hopefully most of you are in a position that you could do that and take that time to really recharge your batteries and come back to 2026 ready to kick butt. But between now and then, we have 31 days to work with. And that's not that many in our industry. If you guys had an opportunity to look at the outline that I sent out, you could see that our average time from send out to interview date set. That means from the day that you send the CV to the day that they go on campus to actually interview, I think was 73 days. Is that right? Is that what we had? 73 days? Yeah, 73 days. And that doesn't even include doctors that took a long time. Like we've had a lot of placements that have happened this year where you're talking about 100 days plus, 150 days plus between that send out and interview set on campus set day. And those are the kind of things that you can't allow yourself to slow down right now because you think it won't happen by the end of the year, right? You got to keep pushing through. You got to keep making your connections, and you just can't let your foot up off the gas. This is the time of year where our sales leader says it all the time. You got to work when other people aren't working. And human nature has everybody slowing down at this time of year. If you stay on the gas and stay on the pedal through the end of the year, good things will happen to you when you start the new year, because the work that you're putting in now is that new year work at this point. Taking it to the next step, 33 days from invoice to interview set to invoice day, right? So total process about 100 days, 106 days. I believe it's closer to 100, maybe even 90, but that's what the paper tells us. It's 106 days, and it's actually a lot longer if you include the ones that are those rebound type placements where they come back and they take a job several months later that you did the work on several months ago. And that happens all the time, so long as you continue to keep your consistent efforts. So really, I don't have many secrets. Now, I have some suggestions that I think are pretty big suggestions, and that is, who could tell me who's definitely taking a job next summer? Who knows? Who knows out of their candidates right now? Who's taking a job next summer for sure?
2026 residents.
Every resident.
That's right, Nick. That's right, Nick. That's right, Mitch. Whoever else said it. That's right. The residents and fellows are the only folks that we absolutely know need a job right now, right? What if they're just getting started right now, November 7th, with 31 days left in the year, knowing what the process is? We're looking at like a February placement at this point, right? And they're all starting in the summer. So who do you think is starting to sweat a little bit if they don't have a job yet? Those residents and fellows, right? And so between now and the end of the year, I would be doubling down my efforts on resident and fellow contacts through profiles database, through RMS, through whatever means necessary, and even hitting the client side on, hey, what's your resident plan? Like, people don't want to miss out on these new grads. These are growth opportunities for our clients to latch onto somebody on the front end of their career and try to keep them for a very long time. Does it always work that way? No, it doesn't. I mean, that's why we're in business, is the fact that these residents switch jobs every 2 to 3 years from their first job. No first jobs last that long. It's like something like 85% of residents switch jobs in the first 3 to 4 years of their career. And that's when we get our second chance at them. And sometimes that's our second chance that leads to our third and fourth chance, depending upon what kind of upgrades we're able to provide. So now is a time to really hit up that profiles data bank, get some residents in line, because practicing physicians, they know what they're looking for a little bit more. They know that they're going to help you with the search more so than a resident. Residents are more moldable, and they're more shotgunnable, frankly, especially at this stage of the search cycle. We're getting into the holiday season, and chances are, if you sent a CV today, they're not going to interview before the end of the year. It's going to be difficult at this point for a resident to get out before the end of the year, or a fellow, because they have things going on at the end of the year to cover their programs, because the people that are above them and practicing tend to take more time off, right? So it becomes a pretty busy time of year for the residents, and you get to take advantage of that by leaning into them and getting them all lined up to basically market the heck out of them. The other thing I'd say is up your crush game. If you're not crushing CVs right now, or excuse me, crushing jobs right now, get those crushed. It's one of those things where you have somebody else doing work for you in a very targeted environment. And what I highly suggest is try odd specialties. Try the specialties that you don't really work with that often, and or the quick hitting placements. Because right now, to get a placement from your new work this year, you definitely have to lean into a client that has an opportunity for quick turnaround. I haven't done a quick turnaround search on our job search in a little while. I don't know if anybody's done it, but I bet you we have at least 50, 60 clients in there. I hope we do by now with the fast tributes. I see Ian's going to work for us down there. Maybe he'll have an update here in a second. But yeah, so doing that, I think, is two of the things on the candidate side that really could allow you to hit the ground running with the candidate stable that is marketable come the first of the year, right? Even throughout this portion of the year, marketing them now, getting them all lined up, maybe getting some of them on interviews, but really making it so you have tons of follow-up to work on as we turn the calendar into the new year. And that would set you up with the opportunity to make some pretty decent quid. The other thing with your doctors is right now, if you're looking to close your docs between now and the end of the year, you've got to have all your ducks in a row, because of what we said about the end of the year. We have 31 days left of working days before that Wednesday of Christmas, but you really have about, I'd say, 20 to make sure that your doc's signed before the holidays, right? And one thing I know is, like, when you get a new job, you like to brag about it, right? You like to tell people, you like to go home and socialize. And the best time to do that is over the holidays when all your friends and family are in. So you get to like really lean into your candidates to get them to close down these deals before the end of the year and before the holidays, so they could sit there and talk about it and brag about it at the end of the year. It's really a human nature type thing to do that, and you could take advantage of that. Anybody got any updates on any of their money board docs or anything that they want to stop me with right now? I've been talking for 9 minutes straight. I wanted interruptions. Does anybody have any?
I got one, Jerry. I
Of
got
course,
one.
Ian does.
Yes.
281 jobs listed under quick turnaround clients and fast tributes, and I know there's more. They just haven't been marked. So let's make sure we're exploiting these. The whole reason we have these fast tributes is to begin to be able to rather quickly identify clients like this. So please do yourself a favor, everyone else a favor. When things are moving quickly, even if maybe they haven't always in the past, but they are now, pop that in there. Let's see what we can do to really ramp up these clients.
Yeah, and it's that's. Did you say 287?
81.
I said 281.
That's amazing. Like we're at a quick goal update. I skipped over that. Sorry about that. We're at 271 placements as a company right now. 272 at that one Emily just put through. So we have 287 clients that will offer us quick turnaround placements. I think some of those buttons were pressed kind of liberally. I can't believe that we have 281 clients, 81 that will turn around a
81
contract.
jobs, 281 jobs. So
Oh,
not
281
necessarily
jobs.
clients. Yes, 281 quick turnaround
Yeah.
jobs.
Cool. Okay. Great jobs.
So,
My bad. Yeah, that's cool. That's pretty impressive. 281. So there you go. Those are the jobs that you could focus on right now if you need to close some more docs. And looking at this group, there's some of us that probably need to close some more docs before the end of the year. I love closing docs. I'll close more and more docs. I never set a limit, right? So that could be a good target for your practicing physicians and or even the people that are residents that might want to lock down something before the end of the year, because again, that's what most people want to do when you're training. You want to have that job locked down before the end of the year. But here's the thing, that's not how it works. Somebody with Outlook can take a stab at how many residents. That means here's what that means. That means that we actually put the pink box in. It's been filled out as residents. Take a stab at how many we've put in since October 1st, you guys, without looking.
4,000.
1,500.
4,000, Terrence says. We're not that efficient, man. That's Sammy and her team are wonderful at their job, but they're not creating 4,000. But it is 847, you guys.
Yeah,
847.
and they're not the ones marking the pink boxes either. So
They're not.
But
They're
yeah, I was
not.
pretty
So
close. I said 1,500.
yeah, and Mike, who knows if there's some that where the pink boxes just haven't been marked, because I know that consultants aren't always the best at marking their pink boxes on candidates that they don't work, that they just like skip by. We probably have, we might have closer to 1,200, who knows? But if somebody's putting in their advertisement or their ad response on October 1st and still doesn't have a job, that means that they're in the market. And that market is now. That market is like now to March. March 15th is when, like, after March 15th, the residents get really desperate. The ones that are left, then you could really target the ones that are left, but they're harder to find. Now you got this huge pool that you could fight through and sift through and line them up, because that's what you're going to be placing here in the early part of the year. And add that to the physicians that you're already working with and the practicing physicians that we're going to continue to get. And that's what's going to set you up for double-digit placements plus next year. Circling back real quick, I wanted to also update two other things. Through the end of August, which that's the best thing we could track, we're at 4.16 to 1 on our interview set to placement ratio. Our goal coming into the year was 4 to 1. Our goal for placements was 301. We're going to crush that. We might beat that by November. Maybe not November, but we're going to come close. We can only go through the end of August because in September we had 147 interviews, which is a high point for the year. We had 147 people go to campus. After the cancellations, we left with 127. So after September, we'll have a really good feel of whether or not we're going to achieve that 4 to 1 goal. It's going to be really close. Our other goal was 10 to 1 on sendouts to interview set. We're at 9.98. If you do a production search from the beginning of the year to now, we're like at 12,370 sendouts to 1,239 interviews. It's amazing how close we are to 10. We're just under that number. And then also I just wanted to give a quick shout out, and most of them aren't here, I see, but a quick shout out to the people that have already punched their tickets to the Eagles Club this year. Jeremiah, Tina, Peter, and Jose already on the plane. Collection wise, already have exceeded 350K. So that's great to see.
Don't forget about our boy Chris.
Who?
Fredrickson.
Who? Chris just needs the collections, unless he collected this month, in which case he might have. I'm not sure, but I was going to say James, Mike, Kim, and Chris are already over the 350. We just need to collect it, and let's root for and pull for Lindsay and Chris. Lindsay and Chris are knocking on that 300 door. Not that far, not that much further to go. Lindsay's actually a little bit higher even, so not that much further to go for those two to get on the plane. So. What we're looking at is probably a 15-person Eagles trip this year. Maybe 10 to 15 people are going to be on that trip. So we're going to have a wonderful time, and I hope we could have even more people next year. Next year we haven't set our goals for yet, but they are going to be double-digit goals for everybody here. Nobody at Curari right now is going to have a placement goal less than 10. If you're on the roster right now, guaranteed that your placement goal is 10 next year. We have a stretch idea to hit $10 million in revenue next year. We're at over $8.2 million projected for this year right now, with quite a bit of time to place physicians left to go. Now we know that a lot of the money that we place right now is going to roll into next year, which individually that's going to happen too, which is great because it really allows you to swing a bit more at the beginning of the year where you're not like sweating, where am I going to get this money from? Where am I going to get this first placement from? You're going to already have it on the books because of the work that you're doing right now. You know, the work that you're completing right now and the work that you're starting right now is going to be the foundation that you build to those sales goals. The other thing that we're going to be adding is Samantha spearheading this project with Ian and Tadas. We're working on AI tools for both RMS, our website, and that's probably going to come online, I would assume sometime in 2026. Calendar-wise, we don't have a specific time frame yet. And then finally, another thing, a broad goal of ours is to just update our physician recruiting website. We have literally the best domain in the business, and we want our website to match that quality, if you would. And we haven't done an update for a really long time. So we're really going to lean into our mission statement next year and create tools that make the job easier for you and create this environment where I want us all to build wealth and hit these goals that we have out in front of us. And we'll have a really good time getting there, that's for sure. Going on, the other thing that I say for the end of the year is your client side. That's the most important. Your client side is where now's the best time of year to really, I think, lean into building up your relationship with your best clients. You get to sit down and audit your stable and find out where you're going to make placements next year. Do your predictions. Could this client give me 2? This client give me 4? You add those all up and you're close to your goal. You're feeling pretty good about yourself. Now, if you don't have that client stable, and you don't have those clients to lean into and predict the placements for, that's when you need to get out there and find them right now. I would make it your priority to get 2 to 3 clients in your stable by the end of the year if you don't have them. And that's, you guys, it's not that difficult to do when you go out and put out the time for finding new clients, because that's the easiest path to exclusivity as a new client. Otherwise, find a client that you covet and you know, and maybe you're able to sell them a little bit. It's someplace you live by, someplace you vacation frequently, whatever that might be, something that you could lean into and maybe work into an exclusivity through the efforts that you put in. I mean, there are other ways to get exclusivity than just the new client bonuses, and that's basically through building a relationship with the client, one that's going to sustain and make you and Curari money, because that's what we're looking to do. And then once you have that prioritization complete, lean into those clients. And when I say that, I'm saying leverage your holidays. Let them talk. Call your clients and just shoot the crap with them. Let them talk for a little while. Let them get out their plans, talk about their family, whatever it might be. Just let them start talking. And then once you let them start talking, turn it around back into the professional side of thing and hit them with those bonus addendums. Hit them with their pain points. Hit them with the fact that you're looking to define your marketing efforts going into 2026 and the first part of the year. Set up your bonus addendums as open-ended opportunities to provide you the direction on where you want to put your efforts next year. The hard part about this job sometimes is where to spend your time. There's no doubt about that. Like where to spend your time productively, both on the client and candidate side. When you have excellent clients to lean into, that part of the equation is taken care of for a vast majority of your day. Then you get to use the other part of your day to go ABC, always be creating. Get out there and create new things or find new things, find new candidates for the jobs that you have. Whatever it may be, it allows you way more time. And with that said, I challenge all of you to use 2 tools that we've created in the last 3-4 months that are outstanding tools when used, and that's the required daily follow-up report for your name clearing and send outs. And that's important just because you don't want to miss out on those points of contact. Those right there are the most important points of contact in our business because they establish your stake in the game. Once your stake's established, we're going to get paid. If they place, right? We're going to get paid. But then once the stake's established, then it's your job to get a no. And we don't want the no, but push for the no. Push for the no quickly. Create urgency. Make it so people connect quickly. Because once the connection's made, what does that mean? It means that 2 people that are interested are doing the work of placing themselves together. And all you got to do is monitor the situation in many cases. Dip your toes back in, make sure you don't miss any contact points, so on and so forth. But once the work is getting started by 2 interested parties, you don't have to do as much and you go back to creating. And so again, the tools of the RDF allow you to make sure that you're not missing out on those contact points. And what we'd like to see as a management team, we'd like to be able to come to your homepage in the middle of the day and say, oh, wow, Jordan's 3/4 of the way through his RDF and it's only 9:30 a.m. This is going to be a great day of new things happening. And then you go out and start schmoozing clients, finding new doctors, whatever it might be, but all with the urgency that you need to get things done quickly. And that the quicker you get to that point where other people are working for you and the fire is burning on its own, the quicker you could start building new fires. And this, like anything else, is a numbers game. You know that. And so again, leverage those clients that you have, find them, do the thing where you're going to get the bonus addendum, work on it. It doesn't hurt to ask. I mean, if you're not pitching the bonus addendums, they can't say yes. You know? Does anybody have any targets right now for bonus addendums that they're working on? Big ones?
I actually just received a signed contract like 5 minutes ago for the be a total of 45,000 from Grand River Health. The 30 plus 15.
Wow, that's awesome.
For those of us who aren't familiar, can you tell us a little bit more real quick about Grand River Health and where they are?
Yeah, they're in Rifle, Colorado. It's the western part of the
damn.
state, not very close to Denver, but it's kind of like a hidden gem. Not many people know about it, but the ones that do know that it's really nice, very scenic. The facilities of the client is fantastic. Nobody who's ever visited there hasn't been highly impressed. They just do everything that you hope that they do during the visits. They just do a great job. This is like their 4th or 5th doc place with them, and they like Curare Crush a lot, which is awesome. Makes it even better.
That's awesome. Speaking of Curare Crush, this is an outside the box approach that is available at this time of the year, and you kind of brought me back to this little bullet point that I have here. This is a good time to pitch a paid Curare Crush program to people, and each of the managers would be able to help you out with like how you could do that pitch, but everybody has a budget. Like all these recruiting departments have a budget that they're sticking to right now. What happens to a budget when you don't spend money?
Goes down.
That's right. They take that money away, don't they? That's usually what happens. They take that money away, right? And so what do you usually want as a physician recruiting department? Do you want a bigger budget or a lower budget? You want that bigger budget, right? And so you don't want to lose out on those dollars next recruiting season that are available to you this recruiting season. So this is also a good time to hit your clients up and ask them to pay for you to do the crush. We provide such a great response to these situations, like Tanner just mentioned, that it's worthwhile for them to maybe throw out $5K. Hey, we're gonna do a 30-day crush program between now and the end of the year where we're gonna do this. Ask your managers about it. I don't want to get too into it right now, but it's like the only other way that our revenue streams are pretty set on physician placements, but this is the way that we could make some ad money, and it's a great time of the year to pitch it out there. But again, going back to what I said earlier, the bonuses, this is the time of year to sign bonuses, and it's mainly because people missed out on, they lost. There's a ton of clients that lost this year. We all know that there's a huge physician shortage in America, and there's so many clients that lost on what they want to do. And so we're not even asking for any sort of risk on their place, and we're not asking for any sort of risk of money loss when we're not asking for money up front. So the bonuses are going to be really good. I can't believe what time it is already, but I want to make sure that I tell you this. I said in the outline, we said incoming is the end of the year high fee challenge, and we're gonna put it out to, we're gonna put $1,000 bonus to the winner of whoever gets the highest fee between now and the end of the year. Highest fee is considered highest combined fee, meaning fee plus bonus addendum. Or shoot, just get a fee. I mean, if somebody signed up a straight 50K contingency agreement, that would be pretty awesome. That would actually be a $12,500 new client bonus, so that would be really good. Okay, so we're going to do the highest $1,000 for the highest fee, total fee, starting today, and then we're also going to do the $1,000 for the person that accumulates the most new client bonus qualifying fees. So go out and find new clients, and those are the ones. So we got 2 categories for the fee bonus end of year high fee challenge. You got a question, Mr. Bick?
Yes, when you say get, do you mean get the money in the door or just get the paper
No,
signed?
just get the signatures. What we're doing
All right,
here, man,
so
is we're trying to line up. We're trying to line up.
Tanner's leading the game right now.
Who is?
Sorry.
Tanner?
Tanner's in the lead right now. He's about to
No,
put
he's
in
not.
a
No, he's not. He already
45K.
signed. He already signed that a long time ago. It's starting today. New contingency agreement starting today. Yeah, starting today. Starting right now. Highest addendum plus fee is $1,000 bonus, and then most new client CFAs. Our goal here is to help you guys line up your front of the year work, your end of the year work. Line it up and knock it down. That's what our goal is. We love giving out bonuses, and this year we've given out, I think it's over $230,000 worth of bonuses. We didn't give them out. You guys all earned them. Rah rah. Our average fee, that's something I skipped over too. Our goal for our average fee this year was $26,500, and last time I checked, which I'll check right now, is $28,140. So we're $1,600 above average, which the one thing that might lead to, guys, is that we're going to probably have to increase the new client bonus basement next year. We haven't done it in a while, so anticipate an increase to $26,000 next year, which should serve as a little bit more motivation to get some in between now and the end of the year. So keep that in mind as you're moving forward between now and the end of the year. The other, before we get too deep, the other incentive that we're throwing out, and this one's going to be hard to get, but we throw it out this year every time, and I think we awarded a couple of them last year. And now, last year we didn't have the fast tribute, so we didn't know that we had 281 quick turnaround jobs. Now we do. And if you're able to place somebody from a send out, we're going to retro date it to November 1st. Retro dating to November 1st send outs, signed and invoiced by 12/31, you'll get $1,000 off the top of the fee as a bonus, and then commission on the rest. So that's the other one that we'll throw out there. That one's going to be a little bit harder to do, but nonetheless, if you get in there and find the clients that are willing to quickly turn things around and hit it quickly, you could cash out a little bit more money there as well. So good luck to all of you on that. Wait a second. I'm sorry. That was a $1,500 quick place bonus. My bad. I miscalculated my math there. So $1,500 for that, and then $1,000 for each of the categories on the high fee challenge. Anybody got any questions on any of those?
No.
Does that apply for physicians only? Does it apply for MPs and PAs?
What's that?
As far
The
as the
fee
quick
agreement?
turnaround placement.
Oh, hell yeah. It applies for everybody. A placement's a placement. We've got oh shoot, I forget what I was going to say. I'll skip that part actually for a second. But yeah, a placement's a placement. So get those placements lined up, and that's all we really need. You guys, we're at about 11:30, and I was going to do the PIP review, and I say we just do the PIP review as kind of a group session here. The other thing I wanted to mention, one more thing about end of year. This is big too. Start your New Year's resolutions now. Like we all have them, whether it's to get healthy or try harder at work or make our relationships better, whatever they are, lean into them now. Don't wait till the new year, you guys. Especially if it's regarding your physical health or your relationship health or even your professional efforts. All of those things are great things to start improving on right this very day. And you all have that control right now. So I urge you to just lean into whatever you want to accomplish next year and start it right now. You know, I mean, I'm there, and we should all go there. Why wait till the new year to start new things, right? Or to start trying new things, start experimenting a little bit. Go for it now and see what happens. Maybe good things will come, and you'll have a jump start on the new year. So that takes us to 11:30, and I know that I wanted to try to stick to a half hour, and we are at a half hour right now. So at this point, I'm going to skip the PIP. And I'll send out, we don't even need a review. What I really want to know about the PIP is it good, you guys? Do you guys use it and like it? Because I love it. It's the best thing. And the reason why we use it is to close the deal before they come to campus. And the reason why you need to push it is because you, as a stranger, Terrence Amos, got Dr. Smith to leave his house to get on an airplane and go to another part of the country to go visit to try to get a job, right? That's a lot of faith that physician's putting into the effort that we started, right? And I know that they've been screened by the client. They talked to somebody to get that invite, but this is where you and we got to get in there and take advantage of that momentum that we have built. By the time you have set an interview for somebody and they've committed to leaving and going on campus, they owe it to you to make sure you could provide them with the best interview experience possible. And that goes for both sides of the equation, the clients and the candidates. The clients, it's really great because when they're yours, how many times do you have to do interview prep, you guys?
Once.
Once, and then on a per candidate basis, you just have to find out what the competition is. Once you know what their process is, you're good. Save it forever. But then on a per candidate basis, all you got to do is make sure that the competition isn't going to stop the block from happening, right? And the whole point of PIP, though, is to close down this interview before they even get on campus. And so if you're not doing it that thoroughly or just sending it out and not following up, I urge you to change that habit and make it your highest priority, other than like the front end work. Because once you get the interview set, you don't want to do that much work anymore. Let them do the work for you. That's the ideal situation. If you've set it up in such a way that both parties just keep coming back to each other, and all you got to do is create a little bit of urgency and take care of the timing, that's the ultimate place to be in this job. And the more you have, the more you make. So it's like don't let that ball drop ever. But anywho, back to PIP. Suggestions, ideas, usage stories, anything you want to throw out there. Let's get it.
Yeah, I do like it. Levi and I recently just completed one, and it told us that we were short on one end in pre-closing the candidate, because up until the point of setting the site visit, part of the PIP question was, what do you think about comp in some kind of way? And literally, the comp was never discussed between the client and candidate, even after it was already set on the date. And I'm like, oh gosh. So the guy, my candidate, was telling me he would accept it if it was reasonable. Well, we don't know what reasonable is. It was in Conway, South Carolina. A little shaky. And finally, his guy, Levi's client, got back to us just this morning and gave us a really good figure. It's going to be acceptable for sure by my candidate, because it was like an 800K plus scenario. And that's going to work. But that somehow was missed until we did that PIP, and surprised me that wasn't done yet. But that covered our butts
Peter,
there, so I want to share that.
Peter, I'll have to give you some credit too on your last placement. You had amazing PIP, and I think both of us knew coming into the interview, as long as he didn't screw it up, the job was his. And he signed like
yeah.
4 days later for your
I
Mattoon
did,
client.
yeah, that was great.
Yeah, and that one, I mean, I even went to the huddle and told the managers, oh yeah, well, I know Peter's going to get this one. And that was like 3 days before the interview because of how good the PIP was, you guys. And they didn't have to do any other work. All you did was confirm that it was placed. You probably had about 20 minutes into that placement. That also occurred via Curari Crush. Go figure.
I've got a couple quick things to add. Number one, if you do get detailed pre-interview prep that is kind of general process for the client, please copy and paste that into the intro process notes field in the client record. That way we're all going to get a head start on that, right? That's the purpose of that, is so we know who we send clearances to, send outs, who we follow up with, and what their interview process is. Is it a video interview, then a site visit, then a draft contract, then an executable, anything like that we can get nailed down, the more prepared we're going to be. Second thing, Terrence and I were just talking about a candidate that he's working with, who he's got an interview set candidate would have to drive probably about an hour and 15 minutes. And so he discovered this through doing some interview prep, and then we were able to confirm that the candidate would be open to relocation. So good work for Terrence. We're able to go to the client after confirming with the candidate that kind of providing some sort of relocation assistance would be critical to this this candidate's acceptance of the job. And that's just one little factor that can really help make sure things go smoothly. And then finally, I know we're going to be getting here soon, but for the competition for an offer, I feel like we could probably do a whole roundtable just on that. It is extremely important to know what else is going on and not make assumptions about, well, last time I talked to him, everything was all set. That's how you end up with egg on your face. That's all I'm going to say.
A lot of that comes down to, Ian, as well, is like knowing the process, like knowing that, hey, who has the authority to make the decision and how will that decision be made? How long will it take, right? Because sometimes people assume, oh, yeah, the offer's going out. Janet said it's going out. Did you ask Janet who actually sends the offer and if they're available to send it out this week? And lots of times you get a no on that, you know? It's the further you get into the process, I feel, the more it opens the door and allows for us consultants that usually are kind of annoying to both the clients and candidates to get deeper questions answered, right? To ask more detail-oriented, process-oriented questions and expect answers, you know? And if you're not getting the answers, that's when you need to call back a lot and just say, hey, I need to know this to make sure that you have the best. We're doing it to help both sides. That's why we're doing it. And again, the further you get in this process, the easier it should be for both the clients and candidates to give up that information. One thing I noticed, and I think we need to update it, so let's take some suggestions, not right now, but email them to your managers, and that is our interview day client candidate side prep. It starts with how would you like to travel to interview and will anybody be traveling with you? I could see the second one, but the first one we already know that the interview's set. I think Ian, we maybe haven't updated this for a little while, but that one shouldn't even be in there. How would you like to travel to the interview? Because that travel's already set. I guess maybe it could be, but nonetheless, it should be set already by that point. So we could use a little revamping on this. So any suggestions would be great and welcomed as we come into the first of the year and make our prep even better. We're also working on a couple of neat additions to, I don't know if it'll be in the RDF or just on the homepage, but it's going to be basically your interview calendar. And your interview calendar is going to include the PIP. And so you basically will zero out that task once you complete the PIP. So it'll, again, be a reminder to get this done and have it at the forefront of your recruiting effort, because that's one thing that you don't want to drop the ball on is the PIP. Anywho, I'm ready to call the meeting if anybody else is. If anybody else has any open-ended questions or wants to chat some more, let's do it. Otherwise, I say we all get back to work and go on with our Friday and get to our weekends. Terrence?
Yeah, I was going to say, how soon do you think it's effective to start that pre-interview prep? Because there have been times where I knew that clients and candidates were trading dates. So there's been an instance where that question did matter. You know, how are you expecting
Sure.
to travel the interview? Because I was able to get the information going quicker. So
Yeah, and that's good. I mean, that's a really good question actually, because in that case you were starting the PIP even before the interview was set. And so that's something that's a great way to do it. So I would say it's never too early.
okay.
You know, I mean, how could it be too early, you know? Now, with that said, you might need to come back and dip back in again, because my general rule, if you set an interview 6 weeks out, more than 6 weeks out, it's going to get canceled. But when it doesn't, you might have to do that interview prep at the beginning and then maybe 6 weeks later, right before the interview. You know what I mean? But I never have faith in interviews that happen 6 weeks out. Do they always get canceled? No, they don't. I'm being a little pessimistic, a little bit of a downer Debbie, but 6 weeks out's a long time, right? I love setting those interviews like next week when I can, but you got to set them whenever you can, because all you need is one a week in this business and you're going to make some really good money. Actually, one a week is going to make you some really, really good money. And then like 1.5 is going to make you the supreme money. You can make really good money here with one interview a week. There's no doubt about that. We know that. We know the numbers. 52 divided by 4. You guys do the math. I don't know what it is. It's over 12. It's 13, I think. 13. So 13 placements makes you a really good fair amount of money here. So
Something I'll add here, I'm sure you guys have know about the ABCs of sales, right? Always be closing. And with what we're trying to do here with this pre-interview prep, to put a finer point on this, my opinion, like Jerry said, again, restating this, is it's never too early. A lot of these questions, if not all of them, should be asked in your initial interview with the physician. That gives you a baseline for where you're starting. Then as you go through the process, you're able to check in and say, hey, I know you told me about these 2 other jobs you were looking at the first time we talked a couple of weeks ago. How are things going with those? Have you been able to go and meet with them in person? Do you have offers, right? Taking good notes and having that knowledge that then you can carry with you throughout the process is really going to allow you to test their commitment, defend their position, all the things you hear from management that we want you to do to make sure you've got a level of confidence here. So the sooner that you've got details on the full scope of what their process is, where you're getting involved in that, right? The more informed you're going to be, the more effective you're going to be in knowing the timetable you have to operate to achieve success. So just think about this pre-interview prep and this prep stuff as something that it's you're kind of maintaining it throughout the process, either until doc's placed or the deal's dead.
Ian, that's a fabulous point, because I think the most effective sales method out there is using their own words to close them down, right? So if you know on the front end of the process that if A, B, and C happen, I'll accept your job, and then you make A, B, and C happen, and maybe they forgot that they told you that's all they needed, and maybe they're fearful of making a decision, and maybe all they need to get pushed over that finish line is for you to rephrase the same words they told you in the beginning of the process. You know, Nick, if you got me a top 10 location and 90 percentile money in a 4-day work week, I'm in no matter where it is. And you're like, I got 3 of them for you, bro. And you're signing my job. Which one should I tell you you're coming to? You know, you'll have that level of confidence in your game. You know, and that's what I see this is a big professional game that we're in with 2 sides of the equation. And we're just making them all match so they could do work together. Anybody else? Anybody
Yeah,
else?
yeah.
Jump in.
I got something too. First time of the day. You guys, for end of year stuff, we didn't talk about this, but interview times are so short right now. The calendar is shrinking so much, and this is something you should always be doing. But finding those times that your client and candidates can interview and get together. Ask your candidates: are they going home for the holidays? You going home for Thanksgiving? You going for Christmas? Can you interview at that job that's close by to your home that we sent you to? You've got to get on the interview questions on dates and setting those up as early as you can when you start the process with your docs right now, because we're out of time and you've got to cram these docs in for these calendars and these interviews with your clients. So do not sleep on that. Ask about it as early as possible from your client side and your doc side. That's a big end of the year thing for me, is just the fact that we have a very short calendar and you've got to get your docs on campus, and it's going to be hard. So do not sleep on that question. Get that information to both parties as soon as you can. That's an end of the year thing I wanted to add in there.
Thanks, Dave.
Going back to the very, very beginning about residents, which they're gold. They are gold. This time of year, especially, you know, profiles. We make a ton of placements off profiles. Creating action for yourself, you know, you got to think outside the box sometimes. Save every single profiles list you ever get and keep it in a document if you don't already, or, you know, just in a section of files. Jerry said it. 80% of new residents change jobs within the first 3 to 5 years. Maybe, I don't know where that, I've always heard that. I don't know where it came from. I don't know if it's true, but it's a great line and it's probably true.
I thought
So
it was 2 years.
thinking out of the box, it's
Probably
like,
true.
right, you do a profiles mail for an awesome new job you just got. Why not go back to 2023 and the same list of OBGYNs that you have saved in your computer because you saved every profiles list you ever got, and then hit them up. Hit them up. Start the whole email. Do you know 75% of new residents change jobs within the first 3 to 5 years of getting your first job? So anyway, just a little trick that I like to use. And these profiles docs, I mean, they're
Let's have a reminder too. Like, how many docs is Jeremiah placing on a year on profiles? 15 to 20, something like that. I mean, the number of docs Jeremiah places on profiles every year, everyone, is a huge number that I want to remind everyone what that is, but it's staggering. Anyone know?
As a
Jerry,
company, we've
Ian,
placed 13 off profiles this year. Chris
this year so far?
Frederickson's most recent placement was a profiles placement.
So
Nice.
there's a way to download lists from profiles. You don't have to be logged into the system to access the data.
You have to log in, access the data, get it from admin, and then you save it, and then you have it forever.
Oh, can someone show me how to? So it comes as an Excel or doc or something?
Talk to your
Yeah.
manager
All right,
after the
thanks.
meeting.
Oh, thanks, Mike. That was a good one. Okay, what else we got? Anybody? If not, remember, November 1st, $1,500 bonus placed before 12/31. And as of right now, we start our competition on the high fee agreement challenge. So let's go out and get those done. You know what I'd love to see, you guys? Everybody at this meeting, send a CFA out today. Just make a pitch. Even if you don't have to tell your client about it, just make a pitch. Say, hey man, I've been thinking about you and I'm looking for my marketing effort. Here's a new CFA. Don't even call, just send it. I just want to see one CFA sent out by everybody today. Just pull one out. I mean, make somebody say no to you. Make somebody react. Nobody's feelings get hurt over it, that's for sure. Then I'll leave you on this. Who's watching college football this weekend? Tanner is. Evan is. Is anybody else get
I am.
for the number 2 team in the nation this weekend? Any Ohio
I'll
State
watch
fans
some
in
of the
here?
game at the end.
Whoop, whoop. Yeah, Terrence. This is a big weekend for us
Must be
Hoosiers,
nice,
you guys.
Jerry.
I've
Must
been
be
a
nice.
Bloomington native. I consider myself a Bloomington resident now after 30 years. Bloomington's a weird town, you guys, for those that don't know. To be a townie, you have to be born and raised here. The only townie I know of on our staff right now is Ian. Is anybody else a townie? Is that it, Ian? Are you our only townie? I think you
Born
are.
and raised
I don't
here.
know.
I'm a
I
townie.
don't know.
I'm a
Logan, you're a
townie.
townie, aren't you? Logan
Yeah,
and
Ben.
Ben are both townies.
B-
That's it.
B-Town represent.
We have 3 townies, you guys, and I've been here for 28 years. I never will have townie status, but I do consider myself a resident. Whole time I've been an IU football fan. Up until we've had a couple decent seasons, but this season's amazing, you guys. So I'm just going to bask in this glory a little bit and brag a little bit. We're rooting for the best football team in our whole company right now, unless we got a Buckeyes fan. No Buckeyes fans going once, going twice,
Yeah.
3 times. Hoot hoot.
Good. Yep.
See you guys.
Keep that to yourself.
But yeah, but it must be nice, Jerry. Last year wasn't good enough for you making the college football playoff. I don't have a team I pull for that sniffed the college football playoff or any decent bowl game in my entire
Evan,
lifetime.
we don't even know how to act. Like it's really weird. It's like it's such a strange environment to so quickly go from such a bad team to such a good team. And really it
What a
happened
good coach will
because
do
of
for you.
a great coach and great efforts. We don't have the 5 stars. We just have a lot of people that put the work in. And I truly feel like sales is a lot like sports. When you put the work in, good things happen to you. You excel. So everybody, let's go put the work in. Again, get a CFA out today. Let's see if we could have 100%. That's 20 of us. Let's get 20 CFAs from this meeting, you guys. Send them out and make people respond. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. Enjoy yourselves. Thanks for coming.
Quick question.
Whoa,
If you don't mind. I know. We were just getting ready to wrap it up. And it was
False
you
alarm.
said I know you mentioned there's a $1,500 bonus and it's going to be kind of a harder thing to do. Can we just bump that up to $2,000 and make that even? Like, why is the 15? Can we go to 2K? Can you meet us at 2K?
If we're gonna go even, we'll have to go to $1,000. There's actually some restraints in
Whoa,
our budget, and we don't
hold
want to lose
on.
those extra $500.
Hey,
Budget
look, this is supposed to be a Friday.
So, yeah. So is everybody cool with the $1,000 for the second bonus per Peter's
No,
request?
that's cool.
Thanks, Peter.
Nobody wants that.
Go, Peter.
Does that count as Peter
This is why I
CFA?
love
Hey,
him.
strangers, where you guys at? Say 2K. I want everybody to make like their profile pick 2K.
Peter, you're acting like a real Ohio State fan right now. I don't think anybody should do it.
Oh,
Yeah.
dang, that's a zinger.
Ohio
All right, you guys.
State.
Everybody have a great weekend, and thanks for everything. Keep up the hard work.
Thanks, everyone.
See ya.
Thank you.
Have a good
Okay.
weekend.